Just for you.
I feel like I'm on The Bachelorette.
Yes.
I will accept your rose.
You're my favorite.
I know. Are you proposing to me then?
You're tres.
That means I'm number 3. Who's number 1 and 2?
Oh,
This
no.
is an outrage. I'm out of here.
That's her character's name.
That's right.
It's Teresita. What's your full name?
Teresita Guadalupe, Teresita, que bonita, vamos a la playa con Teresita. But you can call me Teresita Guadalupe, Teresita, que bonita, vamos a la playa con Teresita.
De Mayo.
That's right.
And your brother's
De Mayo.
Cinco.
Cinco de Mayo. Get it?
So, how was playing Teresita, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? How do you like playing this part?
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. First of all, I am Latina, which is contrary to the hair color, which my mother hates. Whenever she sees my blonde hair, she goes, "We are not blonde people."
But all the newscast people in Spanish TV, they're all blonde.
I know they are.
And they speak Spanish.
I know,
and
I
they're
know,
blonde.
I know.
You ever
And I'm not
notice
really,
that?
I'm kind of fair complected too. So my mom's
But you
the
are.
dark one. My mom's Mexican, Filipino, Spanish, and my dad's the big gringo.
Wow.
See?
That's a great combination.
I know.
So you get to play this part and you be yourself.
Yeah, I love it. And she's feisty and she's sassy and she's got a little bit of an attitude. And I think of her as the Latina Lucy.
Yes, yes.
She's always
she is. She's
bossing her
always
little brother around.
Trying to get into
Or
it.
actually her bigger brother. He's much older than
He's
I am.
much, much older.
Much
Which is
older.
played by Robert.
Roberto Lopez,
Lopez.
also known as Elvez.
He plays Cinco.
Cinco.
And,
Cinco
and you
de
guys
Mayo.
have a revelry?
Yes,
How does he
sibling
say it?
revelry.
A sibling revelry.
Yeah. And I think they're two characters that have lived in this fantasy world of being in show business and the kind of kids that put shows on in their living room and in their basement and in this situation they get that one night to live out their dream to be the first Latino Donnie and Marie.
The Catholic version.
The Catholic version.
I love that, and it shows. It's you guys are always fighting with each other, trying to upstage the other, and it is like
And on stage we do that too.
and on stage in real life.
Yeah.
But isn't it something that, like, as a kid, you probably did, where you put on
constantly.
wigs and did
Constantly.
shows? Yeah.
I mean, it's my friend Joey Seebeck and I, in our living room and our basement, would put on shows. It drove my mother crazy. She'd always say to me, she goes, "Can't you be like normal kids and just play a board game and be quiet and not destroy and ruin everything?" Because we would make curtains out of the new bedspread. We would nail, big long nails into the wood paneling in the basement. And my dad was like, "Oh my God, you know how much that cost?" Because that's when wood paneling was in.
Yes, I remember the
So
wood
we were
paneling.
very creative yet destructive. So this all makes sense, I think.
When you and Robert actually came to my house in Los Angeles, the idea was just that idea, and it became the story. And because I work in theater, I was always looking for a kind of like a theater piece.
Yeah.
So it has a first act, second act, and the characters have arcs.
Yep.
And so it's really fun for me to be able to direct something that you guys came
Yeah.
up with. And we were in that living room coming up with jokes, coming up with your bits.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
Adelita, which
yeah.
is one of my favorites.
Yeah, she's fun too.
Talk about her.
Adelita is is a Mexican revolutionary woman who comes to Seattle, shall we say, to find her macho man.
Yes.
Because in her opinion, real macho men don't exist anymore.
No.
So she's come to Seattle to find that person.
And you find a victim, as they are called.
A victim, yes, lovingly called victims. And
They usually kind of go for the young ones in this one.
well, why not? They're more pliable.
Yes, and people that don't know, Adelitas were actually the name of the women that used to
Yes.
fight with Pancho Villa.
With the
or Zapata,
bullets.
the bullets, the
See.
cross, and they would load up the guns. And so when you do that character, I mean, I think you scare the men.
Oh, I know. I look at their faces and they're like, "Oh, please. Oh, my God, don't come near me.
Don't pick
Please,
me."
please don't pick me." So the young ones are just wide-eyed enough to go, "Okay, I'll do whatever you say because I'm scared."
Beast.
Yeah, bleep that one out. Scared poopless.
Well, what I love about that piece, and you worked really hard on it, is the song. And that was...
La Charreada.
Yeah, and that's a difficult song to sing.
Oh, yes. And then we changed the lyrics to fit the scene.
Absolutely.
So
So, you
they're
had to
learning
learn
that. And,
but that was, to me, it was kind of like what Linda Ronstadt did. And
Yeah.
you were like
Yeah.
following in those same footsteps, finding
yeah.
your Latino roots.
That's right. You're right. You're right. I am like Linda Ronstadt without the Grammys. But okay, enough about me. Talk to you. So, Culture Clash.
Yes.
I remember the first time I saw Culture Clash, and it was it was, I remember it vividly. And it just was political and funny and current, and I loved it. And then I got the opportunity to do the CBS pilot with you guys.
And you worked on it.
And I played one of your cohort's girlfriends.
Yes. And when you told me that, I go, that's right. That's
yeah. So tell me about the origins of Culture Clash.
Well, Culture Clash, we started that a long time ago in 1984 when I was only...
I wasn't even born.
And I was only 6.
I know.
Very young, right? You weren't born.
I wasn't born. I wasn't born. I wasn't even a thought. But continue.
But I'm still together with the group. It's a 3-man comedy performance group, and we do
that
exactly
in itself is amazing.
I know.
You guys are still together.
And we're still together.
I know. That's longer than anyone's marriage.
Yeah. We're like the Chicano Aerosmith. Something like that.
Completely. That's what you have your T-shirt.
We should.
Culture Clash.
The Chicano
Aerosmith. Anyway, continue.
I know, we were like Menudo at first, and when we turned 16, we got kicked out.
I love Menudo. On stage or in a bowl.
Yeah. Ricky Martin.
Yeah, see? I'm telling you. That's right, he did.
Yeah, he was Menudo.
He did. So...
But enough about Menudo. More about Culture Clash.
Yes, exactly.
No, we started doing sketch comedy, stand-up, and we were doing all the comedy clubs that were in San Francisco at the time, because remember, there was comedy club in malls.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
So you started in comedy clubs.
We started in comedy clubs,
okay.
And then we started realizing it kind of wasn't for us, because it was kind of like a breeding ground for sexist, racist jokes. Like they were expecting jokes that were not smart,
right.
that didn't have social commentary. So we decided to produce our own shows, and then we started to connect our sketches to make plays. So we just started writing plays, and that's when we started doing the repertory theater circuit.
Yeah.
And that got us on the map, and we played across the country and in San Francisco and where we're from originally. We moved to LA, and then we got some television stuff. And
so how was that? How was the television stuff? How was that? What were those experiences like? Because that's a different thing.
It's, I think, timing. We were ahead of the curve, I think. Because they didn't get it. We would do our television show.
Yeah.
We had one on Fox, actually.
Yeah.
And it was like a sketch comedy show.
I remember that.
But it was ahead of the curve. So people didn't know what to do with us. They're going, you guys have viewers. We know they're out there, but should you speak Spanish and English? I mean, they really don't know.
Yeah.
Right now, there's finally some television shows on
yeah.
that are
now
Latino.
I think it would be very...
Yeah.
I think people would be more...
Yeah, so we're always trying. I mean, but... I think we're just happy doing theater. We just, and we get to do what we want.
Yeah.
Because you put Latino stuff and they water it down.
Oh, yeah.
And now, that's why Caliente, we didn't water anything down.
No, we didn't.
We did so
And this
much.
is a different type of ZinZanni show. It's not really, I mean, it's kind of a difference from the model that we traditionally have. I think it's more political, but in a still entertaining way. I think whenever you say political in theater, people go, I don't know, I don't really preach that. If I wanted that, I'd just read the newspaper. But I mean, I think it's...
Well, the comedy, the satire in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... when we first started doing the story, it was basically what's going on in life right now. The pink slips. People are getting pink slips, but... and not the one that you wear,
no, not that
the
one.
actual pink slips.
That's backstage, Ricky.
That's right. Sorry.
Anyway.
But we got to do the story that they always forget the people that work in the back. You get fired from the higher ups, but then they forget to tell the sous chef, the janitor, the dresser, the backstage help.
Right.
And in this story, the Mr. Otis and Mr. Ching, they come in to buy the tent.
Yep.
And then they hand them the pink slips right there because they forgot. But there was a loophole in the contract.
Yes.
So the whole backstage crew gets to be front stage.
Yeah, it's like,
And
I got a bar, let's put on a show.
Yeah, and so that's as far as political wise. That's the heavy of political.
Yeah.
That is in the show, plus some other lines here and there.
But I also think that if anyone's ever going to rethink their policies or their politics or just the way they think, it's an easier way to get to them through humor and through entertainment than someone standing on a soapbox or someone posting on Facebook. I hate this person because this is what they said today. I mean, have you ever read anything on Facebook that made you go, you're right. I'm going to think differently now.
Yeah,
no, but entertainment can do that.
And it does it. And I mean, it does it in a subtle way with this piece. And then even at the end of the day, when people are walking home, they might think of something. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I had a comment from a woman the other night who said that she was, I really love the show. It's very entertaining, and there were moments that made me actually go, But I was still entertained.
You know what I love about the piece too is every night when you have parts where, like, you know, Mr. Ching has to sign a contract, and if he signs it, you guys are doomed. But he starts noticing that there's so much great acts here with all the ones that at the end of the night, people are booing him. They're like going, "Boo! Don't sign it!" And then he rips it. Yay!
Which Ray loves. He loves that.
I know, and it's like melodrama, like these plays back in the old days in vaudeville, where people would boo and hiss.
The bad guys and the good guys.
So I love that.
I know. So how was your experience working with ZinZanni? Because what I find from a theater background, nothing prepares you for ZinZanni until you work in ZinZanni. Because it's theater, but it's not. It's cabaret, but it's not. It's a concert, but it's not. It's circus, but it's, I mean, it's its own entity that is kind of like you're thrown into a pot. So how was that for you?
It was great. I mean, I never experienced all of the above. It has everything.
Yeah.
Theater, like you mentioned, and the best part about it is that people actually have a 5-course meal, and they're watching these acts, and you and Robert, you know, picking victims. It's just a full evening, a combination plate.
Yeah.
If I may go to the Mexican side of this, it's a combination plate of many meals, very tiny. It's like tapas.
Tapas.
This is like tapas. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Entertainment tapas.
It's fun. I mean, for me to come in and direct it, at first I was like overwhelmed. I'm going, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to watch this. I got to connect this. But like I said, I approached it as a theater piece.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you get all the elements, and it makes sense. It made sense for me.
Yeah.
It was great.
We did a great job. You did a great job.
You guys are great.
But we are.
You're my favorite.
I am. Yeah.
Teresita, de la playa, vamos
a la playa con Teresita. Oh, Ricky, we loved working with you.
Well,
and I hope we get to work with you many more times.
Well, thank you, Christina.
Well, gracias, Ricardo. Bon voyage on your journey home.
I know. I go back to LA.
And don't go too far.
No, I'll be back.
Short.
I'll be back to come check on you guys.
Yeah, to make sure that Robert's doing his job.
Yeah.
Because you know me, I'm
You're perfect.
line for line perfect every night, but.